Hey, what's up, guys? Anyone here? Anyone around? Hello? What's up? Hey, what's up, Raphael? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Come on in here. Come on in here. Let me put on some music first to set the mood.
Black, 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 black.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear
Black on
that?
black, black.
Can y'all hear me
Yeah.
now?
Hey,
Just vibe out with me.
okay. Black, 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 black on black, black. My thoughts so black, black, black. I'm black. My skin is so black. I'm rocking that black on black is black. Rims on his black wheels.
Hey, 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 hey.
Black, 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 black on black, black. My thoughts so black, black.
Y'all welcome into this party, all right? This is my house party. Hey, I got my homeboy, my mentee, Joshua Renfroe. I feel like I saw him walk into the building. He walked into the apartment. Hey, y'all hear that? Ah. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Hey, where's Josh? Josh, I saw you enter the building, man. Where are you? You gotta request me, Josh. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Josh. I see you, Josh. Hey, what up? J'adore les décors. Hey, come on in here with your French self. Let me get the special guest. Come on, Josh. What's up, Tori?
Yo, what's up, man?
You hear the tunes, bro?
I love it. I love that song.
You know, I try to do something
It's
just
a
for you.
great track. No, I appreciate it. It's a great choice.
Good, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down a little bit so I can show some love and appreciation to you.
Of course.
Thanks so much, man. I certainly appreciate you, bro.
No, thank you. I think what you're doing is really great, especially considering current events. So it's needed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like we talked a little bit earlier, well, actually yesterday, and we talked about just the current state and how things are going right now, and it's just
Yeah.
really it's crazy times, man. It's really crazy times, but it does take really good platforms and the ability to think and talk outside of what's going on, both politically and just mentally. Like there's so much
Yeah.
quarantine and whatnot. But before we get into that, though, um,
Okay.
I just want to see this quarantine beard you got going on.
The barbershops are closed, so this is what you guys get today. Uh, but people seem to really like it. I just need it to connect just a little bit more,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
we're good. But I've been embracing it all,
yeah.
just my natural growth and as a person. So this is what
Look,
my body does.
look, man, it's all good. You look great, man.
But wait, do you have a haircut?
No, I don't have a haircut. I just
Oh wow,
it's
must
some
be
it's some
nice.
it's some trickery. It's some trickery going on over here. I'm pushing it all in.
Yeah, you definitely have hacked the system because I can't relate. I can't relate. You look
You know,
very
normally,
polished.
normally, well, thank you. Normally, I have a hat or whatever, but I was like, you know what? Let me just actually do a little something,
Let me
something.
show off. Yeah.
Let me do a little something, something to it. I got
No, it
some.
looks great.
Yep. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Well, look, before we get into anything, I just got to set some ground rules with my people. Come on
Of
in,
course.
Dexter. I see you, Tyler. Thank you for coming.
She's on.
So look, this is a house party, but it's a woke house party. So we talk about interesting topics and we talk about things that are happening in the world today, along with faith, fashion, all of the above. So listen, before you come in my house, you got to take off your shoes. You've been walking around in them Corona streets. Like,
See, I walked into the house without the shoes on.
exactly. Take your shoes off, chill, relax, clear your mind. I see you, Terry. Hey, clear your mind, and just take it all in. Take it all in. This is a place of love. If you see anyone saying anything crazy in the comments, yoke them up. I give you permission. You're not gonna be talking
Okay.
crazy in my house. All right.
See, I've been on my best behavior. Don't bring it out of me.
I heard that, man. Seriously. But how have you been? How are you?
You know, I've been good. I definitely have experienced some ups and downs during this time, but I think while it's a very perilous time, I think it's also perspective as well. And I think this is also through like a optimistic lens. Like we have so much time to just reevaluate things, focus on ourselves, do things that we always wanted to do, but the natural progression of life kind of prevented us or distracted us from doing that. So, I mean, it's been going pretty good. You know, I've just been like working and exercising, trying to eat healthier.
That's good.
Just focusing on a lot of like self-work things. I think it's important to be healthy, especially considering what's going on. But I also think it's just a habit that you should pick up in general.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for the extra time that I have to really kind of focus on things that I've always knew I should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, and obviously cutting everyone some slack or whatever, these are unprecedented times. Like no one's ever experienced this before. So, you know, if sometimes you're just chilling and loafing on the couch all day and watching movies and catching up on TV shows, that's okay too. It's okay to read a book. It's okay.
I definitely have those moments.
Hey, you know, it's totally okay. But, you know, how are you feeding your spirit? Like, how are you, because I know you're a spiritual person. So how are you feeding your spirit now?
Very much so. I mean, I think just having conversations with God is like a definite go-to for me. I've definitely been bumping some gospel music. Just bumping some gospel music. I feel like that's just very uplifting for me. Even when I'm like trying to create, I think that's something really dope to create too. And you know, I'm just blessed to have like a very solid group of people in my life who I can just, you know, share camaraderie with and joke around with, have lighthearted conversations, also have very meaningful, you know, conversations with as well. So I think just having a solid group around me has kept me going. I think that's the beauty of friendship.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. It's interesting too, because like during this time where it's, you know, it's so important to focus in on the things that are feeding you.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, I have my moments of trash TV, you know, and
What have you been watching?
I have my
I'm putting you on Front Street.
No, don't put me on Front Street. It
What
is
you been watching?
trash TV. You know what? Actually, I won't name anything because I'm not trying to get in
That's
trouble.
true. That's
But
true.
it's just mindless. You know, it's one of
Okay.
those, like, I find myself going down a reality show vortex sometimes whenever I just want to, you know, I've done all the things. I've written out all the visions and plans and all the, you know, all
Yeah.
that. I'm like, I just want to laugh. So I
Yeah.
just want what this crazy group of people have to say in
That's
this
important.
unscripted reality series.
Exactly.
It's
Unscripted.
unscripted. So, but I wanted to talk to you about, well, first of all, I wanted to introduce the people. Guys, this is Joshua Renfroe. This is my mentee. And I want to explain to people how we met. So what impressed me about
Wow.
is that I think we met when you were like, what, 20, 21?
I was like 21, 22. I was an intern.
21, 22.
Yeah.
Literally walks over to my little office space, my little Ralph Lauren, and just says, "Hey, what is it that you do?" And so
Nosy.
he was nosy. So the thing is that my you know, it was kind of an open space, so I would have like things I was working on or styling projects that I was working on all around my desk area, and so Josh had to walk past my little office in order to get to his space. So he stopped one day and he said, "What is it that you do?" And I explained to him, and I told him like, "Okay, I'm a stylist. I do you know, a lot of the wholesale accounts for Ralph Lauren, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, and I'm paraphrasing, I guess, but you said, do you think you'd be able to like meet up with me at Starbucks so I can pick your brain or something like that?
Wow.
It was something like something along those.
I was ambitious, man.
Yes. I saw the comments. My sister says, closed mouths don't get fed. Ask questions.
That's so real. We're going to get into that deeper. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so I was so impressed. That made such an impact on me because I was like, whoa, like I see that's the type of young man I used to be.
Yeah.
And still am. I mean, not necessarily a young man, but but like that's who I am. And who's this guy walking over to me and telling me like, yo, like I see something great in you. I actually want to do what you do or be a part of it or just learn more about what it is that you do. And that really made an impact on me, man. And I thank you for stopping by and saying
that's literally what started off. And just to add some my perspective to that story, that was like, I mean, I would see you often and I was just like, oh my God. And like sometimes like obviously I found out later that you were a stylist, so sometimes you were in the office, sometimes you were on set. So when I would see you come in, I was just like, oh my God, he dresses so fly. I was just like, who is this guy? You know? And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna like say something to him one day. And obviously, as I mentioned, like you wouldn't be there sometimes, but it was that one day that kind of started this great brotherhood that we have. And I'm very grateful for young me who is super ambitious and just open to just put myself out there, meet people, and understand that like the worst thing people can do is say no. But I just appreciate the way that you let me in, you embraced me, and you know we've been cool ever since.
Absolutely, absolutely. And at the time, Josh was at Tuskegee, and
Yes.
And we kept in touch over the time in which he did his internship. His internship ended. He actually won a contest, by the way, guys.
I did, yes.
At Ralph Lauren, he won the contest. Which, yes.
Mhm.
And went back to Tuskegee. Went on to become like all these great things at Tuskegee, and is still doing great things to this day. And I'm
I
so
appreciate it.
of you.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, and I appreciate you stopping me and asking me to just, you know, pour into you. And it's been a partnership ever since, man.
For sure.
Yeah. So look, we're going to talk a little bit about impact tonight.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm thinking about you, I was thinking about how just you are such a dynamic young man.
Thank you.
And just so dynamic and so smart and very talented. Josh, after graduating college, actually landed a job at Ralph Lauren in the corporate offices. And at the same time that he landed the job in the corporate offices at Ralph Lauren, I actually transitioned out of working corporately at Ralph Lauren and on to Mr. Porter, where I became the style editor there. But we still kept in touch, and he would still reach out to me and say, hey, this is going on at RL. Like, I need your help. I really want to move up. I want to, ascend to something else. And I'd pour into him and say like, hey, bro, this is what you should do. And he did it. And he's still there. He's rocking it out. He's doing his thing, climbing that corporate ladder. But aside from that, he also taught himself photography. And that's the part that I am so super, super duper impressed about, that you taught yourself photography. You've reached out to other photographers and you've learned from them. You've gleaned from them. And you've really been like on fire, bro. Like,
Really?
seriously.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the humility, but you've been on fire. So much so,
Thank
guys.
you.
So much so that Josh launched his own book.
Oh my God.
Look at his book, yo. Hey! This is Josh's book. It's a combination of an ode to Black men and a coffee table book. And, there's some written portion in here, but I'd say it's probably 98% all pictorial.
Yeah.
But
Intentionally, though.
Intentionally, yes, because the black male image matters, especially in times like these. And it's, you know, the fact that you, whenever you sat me down, remember that time you sat me down and you asked me
Yep.
about this project? Let's go into that. Let's go into
No, for
that.
sure. So the inception of Black Boy Fly,
Yes.
I was doing photography for about a year. I
Mhm.
definitely consider myself to be a realist and ambitious as well. So I knew that I really cared about photography, but I was like, okay, where do I really want to take this? And I'm a person who's really big on legacy and thinking about how I want to be remembered once I leave this world, or just how I want to be remembered or thought of while I'm here existing and connecting with people. And I did some reevaluating. I love to reevaluate things. I think that's a very important thing to do. Is just take a moment, just have your
Yeah.
moment and think things through and think about how you want to proceed with certain things. And I knew I really love photography, but some of my practices were a little suspect, and I was like, I'm not kind of feeling the way that I'm approaching certain things, or I'm not. I think you let certain things like get into your head. You start comparing yourself to other people, like all of those like insecurities start to really take over your mind at times, and I just didn't like that. I was like, I want to reevaluate things and like figure out how I want to proceed with this dream of mine. And so I think what started the inception of Black Boy Fly was the realization of what artistic freedom really means, and
Okay.
understanding that like I was already enough and I didn't necessarily have to wait for someone to, knight me a good photographer or give me this huge opportunity. I was already enough and I had the ideas, that God blessed me with, and
Yeah.
I can take it upon myself to execute it. I can come up with an idea and I can just do it just because I want to. And I think understanding that, I was just like, I feel like a lot of people would know that, but I think once you really like think like, okay, I can really figure out how I can make this happen. So I
Mhm.
decided that I came kind of really interested in independent work. So I'm just kind of like, I have a lot of creative ideas. I don't know who I think I am a year into photography, thinking that GQ magazine is gonna tap me to shoot their cover story. Like, let me create my own moment.
That's the ambition that I appreciate about you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm also a realist too, and I'm just like, okay, you need to really build out a portfolio. You really need a body of work that is a true reflection of who you are as an artist. And I wanted to create that. I consider my photography work similar to an artist and their music, and how they go and they create an album, and it's a reflection of their experiences and who they are as a person and what they love and like the feelings
Mhm.
that they want to put out in the world. So yeah, I decided that, okay, I want to do an independent project. And I was like, what is that going to be? And I understood that social media is an amazing tool. Like, look how we're utilizing it right now and able to
Ex-
uplift each other and share our stories. But I was like, I want to explore another medium of sharing my art. And that's when I said that, okay, like, I mean, I got a couple of rejections from some magazines that I submitted to. Some of the work was a little suspect, rightfully so. But I was like, publish yourself. Like, you don't necessarily need to have a magazine validate you. You can validate yourself. So I said, I want to do a book. I've always loved printed work. Looking back through my childhood, I always loved looking at old yearbooks. I always loved looking at magazines. Like, it was something that I really enjoyed about that experience. And I was like, I want to do a book. That's what I'm going to do. And then I was like, okay. And this is me praying to God also. So faith is a huge part of this journey. And I was like, so what is it going to be about? And, I was like, Black male culture. That's what it is.
yes.
And yes, and moving to New York, I've always had pride in being Black. I'm from Tuskegee, Alabama. It's a very historic place. So I grew up knowing about all these great things that Black people have done, accomplished, and persevered through. So I was
Yes.
just like, this is like a true extension of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and but moving to New York, it really, I guess my maturity, it just made me look at things differently. And I started to look at pop culture, for instance, and I was like, wow, like we are so impactful, we are
Yes.
so influential,
Yes.
and I'm noticing that a lot of people are kind of monetizing our culture,
Mm.
and a lot of people who are at the forefront of like major corporations don't look like us. And I
Nope.
was like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I understand that our culture is very engrossing and people want to be a part of, you know, what we have going on. And that's fine. But I also think there needs to be like credit, there needs to be equity
Hmm.
with things that we popularize. So I was like, I want to do this as an ode to Black male culture. I feel like we're a very unique set of people who we live in like this duality that we are killing it, you know, in the fashion game. We're like so successful in all facets of life. Honestly, when you look at academia, fashion, music, like we are like huge pillars. But at the same time, any given day, one of us can die in broad daylight, and oftentimes at the hands of people who are hired to this. So I felt like that was just a very interesting people to really capture.
Yeah.
And as a Black man, I like, this is my life. You know what I mean? This is what I deal with. And I know other people will really connect with this. And I feel like it's needed. And it's not something that you necessarily see every day. So that's when I decided to do Black Boy Fly. And I almost came up with the name Black Boy Fly instantly.
Wow.
And
Now
yeah, and it just stuck.
I remember you telling me that you know, it's also inspired by Kendrick Lamar and his
Yes,
song Black Boy Fly. But I also
yes.
want to or touch on, you know, guys, this is not just Black Boy Fly in the sense that it's, you know, we're fly. Now that's the truth.
It's a part of it. Double entendre.
So yeah, so it's a double entendre. It is, you know, an ode to Black men saying, you know, hey, we're fly, we're stylish, we're trendsetters, we are go-getters, we, you know, we kind of own our sense of, you know, Blackness.
Yeah.
And, you know, we set trends, we set the tone. A lot of times in these fashion houses, they kind of pull from us street style. Where do you think that came from? You know what I mean? All this
Yeah.
sneaker heads, like, you know.
Oh
But
my gosh. The list and on.
the list can go on and on, but the other side of this Black Boy Fly is also it's also an encouraging word. It's saying Black Boy Fly,
Yep.
so
In the
be
literal sense. Yeah.
shine. Like it's an ode to that. So this book really is so special and impactful because, you know, landing in the hands of an adult like me, it's still very touching. It's still cool. It's still, you know, inspiring to me. But landing also in the hands of a very, you know, very young, impressionable young man, you know, say he's 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
and he sees these, you know, it's also very impactful to him. You know what I mean? Because he's so
No, I
young and
agree.
help, you know, with the images, it can help him see like, oh, this guy looks like me, and this guy's like, you know, doing this, you know. So I think this is really cool, man. But I want to define impact before we go any
Yeah.
further.
Yeah.
Looked up definition of impact, and there's a couple of different definitions. One reads to have a strong effect on someone or something. The second definition is the action of one object coming forcibly into contact with another object. So just like that, I came in contact with that book and I was like,
Mm.
yeah,
Boom.
this is yeah, boom, exactly.
Boom.
And you asked me to style
Oh my
one of the
gosh, yes.
so I
You
said, yeah,
are a part of the Black Boy Fly journey through and
hey,
through. But from the beginning, really quick, like before I had even probably made a mood board, I was like, Donnell, I know you did a book, Rome's book, amazing book. And I was like, I know you did a book and you did it very well. Like, I need to talk to you, you know, about this project that I'm working on. And you
absolutely.
know, you took me to brunch and we had an amazing dialogue. It wasn't sugarcoat, you know, in on all the details of what I was getting myself into as someone who's published a book.
Yeah, there you go. I can hear you
I feel
now.
like we
It kind of
froze.
froze for a second.
Okay, we're back in the game.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I just remember us having that brunch and you were like just very honest and open with me and supportive. And that's when we decided that I was like, I definitely want you to style something for the book. And then I told you about this concept that I knew for sure that I wanted to do. which was the Nike versus Adidas concept, tying back to
Yes.
impact and influence, especially as it relates
Yes.
to, I mean, it's multi-layered, honestly, but it's especially in sneaker culture. I mean, that's just like a enormous business in culture. And I feel like, you know, Black people definitely spearheaded that. We definitely gave it its wings. And I thought that would be that you would have a very interesting take on it. So,
Well, thank you, man. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I see Sydney says an iconic shoot. Yes, but Sydney,
hi,
yours was
Sydney.
we're
I
going to get into it a
know.
little bit later. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the images that are in Black Boy Fly. So I also want to read. I see a host, Les Brown, said, "In every day, there are 1,440 minutes. That means 1,440 daily opportunities to make a positive impact." I think that is so powerful. I'm going to read it again. In every day,
Yeah.
there are 1,440 minutes. That means 1,440 daily opportunities to make a positive impact. So, one question I have for you is, do you feel like you've made a positive impact on people? And if so, is it intentional? Was it intentional?
So my answer to that question is yes to
Okay.
both.
But
um,
which one?
one thing, especially through doing this project, one thing that I definitely learned was intention, and also kind of releasing some of that intention and allowing art to do what it does and knowing that it's open to interpretation. I think that's an important thing to focus on. And that was something I was honestly excited about. I was excited about, you know, delivering a message that I know was going to really connect to like the souls and the minds of people, but also just being interested to see how people will take art and interpret it and just like come up with their own meanings or
Mm-hmm.
perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like I have made a positive impact. I feel like I've served as an example just follow your dreams, man. Like I know for a fact that we all have things that we love,
Yeah.
and it's something burning in everybody's hearts. Some may be a little bit more expeditious about pursuing it, and other
Mm-hmm.
people may just, you know, let self-doubt interfere and prevent them from pursuing certain things. But I think I'm serving as an example that if it's something you want to do, like go after it, because life is short, to be honest.
Yes.
And like obviously that thing that's burning inside of you is going to make you happy, so why not pursue happiness, you know? And I feel like
Mhm.
people really deserve that. I feel like this is a very tumultuous life that we live in, and
Yeah.
yourself needs to come first and your happiness needs to come first. And that's just something that I wanted to be an example, is that like it hasn't always been peachy. Yes, Black Boy Fly was a successful project, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, you go through turmoil, you go through challenging moments. And I think the most important thing is persevering and understanding that those challenges are going to be there regardless. But you know, you have to really remember who you are, and you have to stay connected to your faith, because those are the two things that are going to really, you know, keep you on the right path, and know that you have the strength and support. And just think about like the people in your life, like think about your family, think about your friends, like establish like a strong support system, because I
Yeah.
couldn't have done a Black Boy Fly if it wasn't for the support of my family and friends, especially like my tribe here in New York. Like I was able to call on like such a great group of people to help me through, you know, some of those challenging moments, or when I just needed an extra hand, an extra perspective. So I definitely feel like being that example of just like following your dreams,
Mm-hmm.
like don't let self-doubt get to you, don't let any negative energies get to you, like
Yeah. And
choose you.
that part's not always easy,
Yeah, no, it's
you
not.
know, especially now, now since we've been kind of like locked inside with our own thoughts. And what if you've been
Yeah,
kind of dwelling on the things you haven't accomplished, dwelling on the things that, you want to do, but you don't know quite how to do it.
yeah,
It's not always easy to do that. But but I think it's important to kind of push yourself.
Yeah.
And to,
No, it is.
it is. It's
And
so
then one more thing about, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just saying it's just important to push yourself.
Yeah, no, seriously. And one thing, going back to intention, one thing that kept me going, if we're being honest, when I had those challenging moments with producing Black Boy Fly, which was also an independent project, it wasn't, you know, like published by a company. I didn't have like that type of support. So it was a lot of learning as I went through. And, you know, when you learn as you go, mistakes are going to happen, challenges are going to arise,
Yeah.
and your spirits are going to get down, or they could get down through experiencing just unique challenges that you've never encountered before.
Yeah.
But one thing that really kind of kept me motivated, because there was moments when I was doing Black Boy Fly, I thought I was dreaming too big. I was like, okay, so I've never done a book before. I think that I did too much. I don't know if doing a book was necessarily the right decision. Maybe I could have done a photo exhibit, just something like
Yeah.
something not dealing with publishing a book, because there's so many details that go into it. And shout out to Fred Sands. I don't know if he's in here, my graphic designer.
But look at it.
We worked so hard on that thing, and it's just so meticulous. But one thing that kind of kept me motivated during those challenging times is remembering how powerful art is, and understanding the impact that this project can have, and that understanding that art is bigger than all of us. You know, it's bigger than an individual or group. And like, you kind of have to do it now. You come too far. There are people waiting to receive your art and be touched by it, and to be inspired, even if it's not photography that they do. It could be something else in their life that they've been thinking about doing, and this project can be like living proof that you can do it. So those thoughts kind of kept me motivated, and also thinking about myself as a young lad, you know, growing up and and trying to figure things out.
You're still
like,
a young lad, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Please say it again. I'm 27. I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm getting up there, but it's all good.
You're still very young.
Thank you so much. That made my night. Okay. Ooh. But but I'm thinking about, okay, literally, if 12-year-old me saw this book, like, that's power.
Yes.
That's power. And I don't know even if, like, I was like, even if it just involves someone, maybe they had a stressful day and they look at my book and they smile for like 5 minutes. Like, that's power in that.
That's
you know what I mean?
power.
You've like changed someone's life. You've taken the bullshit, excuse my language,
No,
but it's
okay.
quarantine. Like, like you have allowed somebody to escape from the bullshit or whatever they're going through in their life, and you have allowed them to be happy for a moment. And I think that's just the beauty of what art can do. And that those type of thoughts, that positive reinforcement, really kept me motivated. And I was like, I have to do this. And I knew I had to do it. Giving up wasn't an option. It was too beautiful of a concept. I'd already put so much time and work in, and it was so many people like who were in my inner circle, like you, looking forward to it, and just understanding the impact that it could have. So that's my spiel.
Definitely. Well, good spiel. And I wanted to, off of that, I want to read a quote from Common. Common says, "The impact of a conscious artist is necessary, and it ripples through the world." And I just want to share that, because I feel like you are indeed a conscious artist. I don't know whether you consider yourself that or not, but I just want to say, from the outside looking in, you are a conscious artist, and your work, I love that, is rippling through the world. Okay?
Yeah. So thank
believe
you, man.
it and own it. The other thing I want to do is actually get into this book, and I want to actually show these people what's that.
Some images? Okay, let's do it.
But look, I want you guys to bear with me, because this is the first time I've ever done this. So
patience is a virtue, guys.
Yes, so you guys should chill, and let's see if I can get this done. Let's see if I can get through this. I'm not finding the images. I see all the other images in this image. Talk amongst yourselves, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
I know. Yeah, don't leave, y'all. Be patient.
Be patient. Yeah, I'm not seeing the images. I see all of the other images, and shut up, Raphael. I see you say you can do it, old man.
Oh God.
You know, it's not even the fact that I can't do it. I'm seeing all the other images, but I'm not seeing the specific images that we were going to talk about.
Okay. I should have probably told you this because like grouping them into like a folder and well in your photo gallery,
Yeah,
that'll like help you easily locate them when you're trying to upload to Instagram.
yeah, and the
Because
thing,
a lot of the times, like whatever date the photo was taken, like that metadata is like embedded into that photo, even though I sent it to you. So if I
oh,
shot something in October of 2018, it's gonna show up in your gallery from October 2018.
man, oh gosh, well, I can't go back
But the
that
people
far.
are being patient. I mean,
Yeah,
you might
that's true.
be able to. I'll
That's
answer
very
some
true.
questions. People said, "Are the books still available?"
You know what, guys?
Um,
He just sold out, y'all.
Yeah, the book has been sold out for a while, actually.
Yeah.
I'm currently working on a restock, so yeah, just follow my account for all the updates, and I'm really working on that for the people, and I'm gonna have a special surprise as well with this restock. So stay
Oh
tuned.
man. So look, I'm thinking that it's not going to work.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking it's not going to work. So that's fine. I just want to let's see, get back to uh, all right. So look, so it's not going to work because I should have screenshot it. Bear with us. Sorry about that. But what I'll do is I'll kind of flip through the book and you can tell me a little bit about. I'll flip through the book and you can tell me a little bit about what you think and thought and your mindset behind some of these images. So this is one of the images that you sent me. Can you guys see
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Can you see his shirt? It says Obama. Look at there.
Hmm.
So walk us through this process. Like, what was your concept? Tell us a little bit about what this was all about.
Okay, got you. Daniel Lee, Dan P. Lee, are you in here still?
I think Daniel's still in here.
Okay.
That's my
Daniel,
North.
my guy, he styled this shoot. And it was so funny how this happened. So we were walking in Soho, I believe, and I was like, I wanted all my friends who were stylists to be a part of the book in some way. And I was like, Daniel, I'm thinking about doing this Obama editorial, like an ode to Obama, because he's like our first and only Black president. And I was like, that's major. And that was major for our culture. I just remember being in college, my first time being able to vote was for his second term. And the moment that they announced that he won, everybody on campus ran out of their dorms and apartments, and we all rushed to the yard. We
Oh,
played our
that's
president as Black, and just that feeling of like celebration and pride and just understanding the struggle of Black people. I was just like, yo, this is just major. And like he not only won one term, he won two terms, and it was just like an unbelievable experience. And I was very grateful that my first time voting was for Obama, and I
yeah,
did it with my father, which was super dope. And I definitely wanted to give honor and pay homage to him.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, well, one thing I love is like vintage Obama T-shirts. I guess you can call them vintage now. And I was
yeah.
like, how about we, get a whole bunch of like vintage Obama tees from like eBay and just style them in like really dope outfits. And I was planning to do this in New York. Like I was gonna get like some type of backdrop, come up with some type of creative vision for it. I was talking to Daniel, and Daniel was like, "Josh, we got to go to DC." And I was like, "Excuse me, who's going to DC? How are we gonna get
Yeah.
there?" Like I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like,
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
"If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right." And I was just like, okay, like you see, we can't just do this in New York. It'll be convenient for everybody." And
Nope.
he was like, "Josh, you got to go to DC." And I was like, "Okay, we're going to DC." And that's what me and him would send each other all the time. We're going to DC. We're going to DC. And the models who were in it were Tevin and Ahmad. That was my first time shooting with those two guys who were kind of like considered like the faces of Black Boy Fly. I did a lot of different concepts with them. I love those guys. And also Montez, who was super dope. Loved him. I met him
Yeah.
backstage at Pierre Moss, and I was like obsessed with his look. As soon as I saw him, I was like, bro, like your look is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got our squad, and I was like, let's book some flights. I mean, not flights. I ain't have the budget for no flights. So I was like, book,
Your mind
let's book
originally was
some.
flights, but it ended up being
Yeah,
bus tickets.
right. But I was like, let's book some bus tickets and go to DC, and it worked out perfectly. Honestly, we did it on Labor Day, and I was
Okay.
like, okay, we working on Labor Day, but it's all good. It's for a
Yeah.
good cause.
Yeah.
And that's just a date that worked for a lot of people, and it was perfect. And we went down to DC. It was blazing hot that day,
I'm sure it
but
was.
we got the shots that we needed to get. And that was the second shoot that I did for the book. Yeah,
Oh,
that was the second shoot that I did for the book.
well,
So at this point, I'm still kind of having those like early process jitters,
of
but I'm
course.
still very excited because like I got one shoot out the way. Okay, I'm on shoot number two. So it
Yeah.
was just a lot of adrenaline leading up to that. And then I was like, oh God, I'm traveling out of New York for a shoot. That was like my first time ever traveling somewhere to shoot. And it was just an exciting experience for all of us. And, you know, that was,
Well, look, you guys created magic with that shoot. You guys
thank you.
created magic. But look, I want to keep moving because we got some more images to show.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit
Oh
about
my gosh.
this. Is
Sydney.
see that? I'm trying to get the glare off.
Yes.
I don't know if you can
No,
see.
it's all good. Yeah, so definitely couldn't do a book about Black male culture without expressing the importance of like fatherhood. So that's where Fatherhood Matters came
Yes.
into the picture. Um, Very thankful for like all the things that my own father has taught me, and I wanted to showcase the joy and beauty of fatherhood, or the relationship between a father and a son. I feel like it's so integral, and I feel like you have a separate set of challenges and experiences when raising a Black son. And I
Yes.
think it's just very unfortunate that we live in a society where you have to eventually have those conversations with your son. Like, just think about a beautiful baby boy and all of his innocence. And you just like know someday he's going to understand what type of world that we live in and type of challenges that are inherently um, placed against him. And I think that just makes the experience that much more unique. And I just wanted to just also show Black happiness in the book, and I
Yeah.
thought that was just an amazing opportunity to just show that their actual father and son, Daryl and Silas. And
Yeah.
my
Look, I
friend Sydney styled it.
Sydney Page, you did an excellent job on that, homegirl. You
I
did that thing.
know. Yeah, it was
Awesome.
so good. It was like 70s inspired, so we had some 70s inspiration with that just
Yeah.
for aesthetic purposes. And
Yeah.
Daryl and Silas, they're so cool. It was crazy
Yeah.
because I saw Daryl walk for Ralph Lauren for our 50th anniversary runway show, and I didn't know who he was. Like,
Yes.
and I was just like, can somebody please like give me this man's Instagram, because he really stole the show. Like, everybody was talking about
You
him
really
that night.
did.
Yes, and I was like, I would love to shoot. And then once I found his Instagram, I was like, wow, he has a son. This is great.
Yep. Yep.
And I just asked him, and Daryl has been so kind and supportive. Him and Silas both, they're like great.
So dope. Look,
And
look.
yeah.
Let's get into this one. Hey,
Woo!
this is the
The
one that
most,
Josh and I did together.
yes, Nike
Nike.
versus Adidas.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I touched on that one a little bit earlier, talking about Black impact, especially as it relates to like sneaker culture and subcultures of that nature. But yeah, I definitely grew up wearing both Nike and Adidas, and I understood that was a very important part of Black culture, and understanding the impact that we had on really, making sneaker culture a major thing. And I wanted to put that into visual. And
Yes.
I definitely wanted to be a part of my book. And as discussed, you styled it. And that was like, you know, before I had shot anything, I was like, I know Donnell is styling this shoot. And I was just very excited. It was the third shoot for the book.
Yes.
And yeah, that was a great day. So we shot it in the historic Rucker Park,
Yes.
which
In
fun,
Harlem.
yeah, yes. So fun fact, me and my brother used to watch and one basketball games growing up. So I used to like grow up seeing Rucker Park, and I actually visited Rucker Park when I was like in 8th grade. Met Joel Santana. It was like so New York, and
Wow.
I obviously had on very baggy clothes back then because it was like
Of course. We all,
2007, maybe 2000. Yeah, like 2006, 2007. And I just remember having that experience and just experiencing that energy, and it was such a beautiful full circle moment to be shooting such a powerful project there, and just doing something for the culture. It was just like I knew that shoot was gonna be a hit, man, and I just loved editing that and just seeing like all the pieces that you pulled together for that. It was beautiful, and that was the most viral shoot of the book, to be honest.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was. So when I dropped that, like I've never gotten so much engagement since I've, had Instagram. So
Well, well, awesome. And look, he's got
yeah,
merch. He's got merch with that shirt too.
yes,
Guys, you may not be able to get the book now, but you can get some merch. Um,
yes.
tell the people where they can get the merch from.
Yeah, so if you click the link in my bio, the link is there for merch. I have a few sizes left and a couple of my t-shirt and sweatshirt styles. Like I said, we're working on a restock for the actual book, but in the meantime, you definitely can purchase merch. And you can also purchase prints. So if you see something on my Instagram that you like, if you have the book and you see something you like, feel free to reach out to me and we can discuss accordingly. But I can definitely bring Black Boy Fly into your home in some way.
That's what's up. Now, lastly, this one, strikes a chord. It struck a chord then, and it strikes one now. And
Yeah.
just the ode to my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to obviously we can't go into it now. We've got about 10 minutes left, but
Okay.
we've got some very devastating situations that have happened recently with Miss Karen in the park in Central Park calling the cops on the black man and fabricating a story, and then also Mr. George Floyd, who unfortunately lost his life at the hands of police brutality. And talk a little bit about this shoot.
Yeah, so I said in the beginning of the book that I'm paraphrasing. I forgot my own quote. I actually have the book right here. I can read it. I said, the journey of the black man is multifaceted, one where both trial and triumph intersect on an extreme level. It's an important story to tell. Amidst our adversity, we are the most emulated male on the planet. And the part of that I really want to dissect is like this whole experience of like trial and triumph. And while we're doing so many amazing things, beating all the odds, we still have those odds that we are consistently fighting against. And we still have these unique set of trials and tribulations that we have to endure as black men and just black
Mm-hmm.
people. And I couldn't do a book without highlighting that. And I struggled with the way that I wanted to do it because I didn't want to necessarily do anything gory. But I wanted to more so give honor to people who lost their lives from both police brutality and just understanding that we've become kind of numb to certain things that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
And if you really look at it just on a surface level, it's terrible. It's terrible that we have to have these fears of,
I mean, you can't even run. You can't even run
yeah,
in the
like
park and bike. Like this is crazy. It's crazy times.
it's definitely crazy times, and it's just like it's just very scary. I'm fearful. I'm fearful for myself. I'm fearful for my family, my friends. Like it's just a very harsh reality that we have to deal with. But I wanted to give honor to those guys who lost their lives, unfortunately, due to police brutality. And I was like, let's just, paint their names. And shout out to Jocelyn. I don't know if she's still in here. I know she was in here earlier. She did the body paint, and my friend Shane, he was the model for that. And it was a very emotional concept for me to shoot because, I had to come up with a list of names of people to honor, and I had to look up every story, every video to really
Yeah.
see what happened, and that was just gut wrenching. It was so difficult, but I knew that they would appreciate being honored in that type of way, especially a part of such a beautiful and impactful project. So
Yeah.
that was definitely one of the most emotional shoots I've ever done. And rest in peace to those guys. It's just very unfortunate circumstances, but
One
you
hundred
know
percent.
yeah, we just have to continue to stay unified and stay persistent in our fight for justice and equality and just respect.
Yeah. At the basic level, just respect.
Yeah, just
Like,
respect at the
you know,
basic level.
before you try to kill me, just find out what was going on. Like, what's up? Like, what? I mean, I was just running
Yeah,
in the, you know. So I thank you for doing that. I thank you for exposing that and honoring those young men who've lost their lives in such a beautiful way. It's really
yeah,
a beautiful section of your book, and I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you
yes,
for highlighting that, because some people won't. You know, some people are very, you know, they don't want to go there. They don't want to touch the hard things. They don't want to do the hard things. And you did it in a really masterful way.
thank you.
And I really do thank you. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And a quick shout out to my sister, Mary. She wrote a very beautiful rap poem that's featured in that section as well. So, I'll probably share that at some point. But if you have the book, definitely, take a minute and read it. And it's still very relevant, especially with things going on currently in the news. So
Yeah, yeah. So
happy to
look,
have her included in that.
so we're nearing the end, and I want to give you a little bit of time to go in and just say to people, I feel like you are an impactful young man. I think that you're making moves, you're making huge impressions on our culture, society, and beyond. What
Thank
would
you.
you say to someone who desires also to make impact? And it can be as small or as big as whatever you want to say to someone who desires to make impact in the world.
Yeah. I think the first thing is um, making sure it's coming from a genuine place. I feel like when something is genuinely inside of you, like a desire is genuinely inside of you, it's going to show naturally.
Mhm.
I think that's step number one, and I also think make sure whatever you do is good. Just make sure it's great,
Yes, make sure it's excellent.
undeniably great, because regardless of how big you are, how well known you are, you have to let your work speak for itself. So I think if you're moving in a genuine place and you're moving in your purpose, and you know that you're talented and that like whatever you're putting out is of quality, you don't have anything to worry about
Yeah, yeah.
because you have confidence in what you're putting out, and you don't necessarily need the validation from anyone else. And the people who connect with it, that's who it's meant for.
That's true. That's so true. Man, you're wise beyond your years, man. I
Oh
love
my
it.
God, thank you.
That's my
That's
mentee,
you.
yo.
That's you rubbing off on me.
That's nobody else's mentee. That's my mentee.
You're
So
funny.
look. I want to close out with a quote from the late Ozzie Davis. Um, he says or said, "Any form of art is a form of power. It has impact. It can affect change. It can not only move us, it makes us move."
That's deep.
So that I want to kind of leave on that note. And also, before we leave, I have a really quick round of questions for
Oh
you.
yes,
Yes, sir.
yes. Okay,
It's called think fast, like in
okay.
basketball. Think fast, think fast, think fast. All
Gotcha.
right, so you think fast and hurry up. Take your time, but hurry up. All right.
Deep breath.
Yes. Lifting spirits or drinking spirits?
Both. I'm honestly not that big of a drinker, so I would choose lifting spirits.
Lifting spirits. Okay. Navy blazer. Sorry, I can't even have
It's okay.
navy blazer or navy bomber jacket.
Navy blazer, classic.
Yep. Being filthy rich or being comfortable.
At this point, I was
There's no,
saying I would say being comfortable because like a part of comfort is being financially stable. So yes,
okay. All
comfort.
right. Captain Crunch or Fruity
Effective.
Pebbles?
Captain Crunch. I have it in my
My
kitchen right now.
my guy.
Yes.
Meg the Stallion or City Girls?
Make the stallion.
Azalea Banks or Iggy Azalea?
Oh gosh. You know what? Just for the culture, I'm gonna choose Azalea because sometimes our people get lost on their way. They wild out, but we don't turn our back. So
She's currently wilding out.
she's currently wilding out. But if I had to choose between the two, I'll choose her because she
Okay.
actually she is a talented rapper. I will give her
Got
that.
it. All right. So, chicken and waffles or fish and grits?
Ooh, now you done started something. Okay. Oh, this is hard, but I'm gonna probably say if both of them were just done well, like perfectly done, I would choose chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. All right.
'Cause I love syrup.
Harlem or Brooklyn?
Mm. I live in Harlem now, but I'm planning to move to Brooklyn, but I'm still gonna choose Harlem.
Okay. Or you can just say Harkland.
Okay, Harkland. Yeah, for the in between people.
Fedora or fitted?
Fit it.
All right. Punctual or fashionably late?
Fashionably late.
World Star or Shade Room?
Shade Room. I haven't been a World Star since I was in college. I go in the Shade Room every day.
gotta catch up on the tea, the gossip.
The tea, they do current events too, so yeah.
HBCU or HNIC?
Oh. You are silly.
That one's for the culture.
I'm gonna say HBCU.
Okay, all right, gotcha. GQ or Esquire?
GQ. I'm
Ralph.
a GQ connoisseur.
Oh, okay, same. Ralph Lauren or Lauryn Hill?
Woo! Why would you do that? I'm passing. That's not even comparable. Oh my goodness.
I know.
Ralph Lauren is currently cutting the check, so I'm gonna choose Ralph.
Okay, or you can choose both. You're grown.
I'm gonna choose both.
There's no right or wrong.
That was hard.
Southern Gent or City Slicker?
See, the old me, when you first met me, I would choose Southern Jam, but I'm a City Slicker now.
All right, I heard that.
Kendrick do some things.
Kendrick or J. Cole?
I'm gonna choose Kendrick, but I love J. Cole.
Same. Work hard or hardly work?
Work hard. I don't mind hard work.
New York or Alabama?
New York. Sorry, Alabama. I love it here.
Don't rush challenge or savage challenge?
They don't rush me to death. I can deal with the savage challenge. So, yeah. They don't rush me to death.
Yeah, same. Both of them actually. I'm tired of both of them. Solange or SZA? Do you hear me?
Solange.
I said Solange or SZA.
I'll choose Solange,
You said
but I love SZA as well.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right. Pierre Moss or Off-White?
Pierre Moss.
Black Boy Joy or Black Boy Fly?
Oh, I would say both. I'm gonna say both. 'Cause Black Boy Joy did his thing too, but I don't know if there's a photo book. Maybe somebody should make that one day.
Look, just a couple more.
Okay.
Run out of time. Air Jordans or Superstars?
I'm gonna go with Jordans.
Last question. Take a back seat or make an impact?
Make an impact.
Perfect.
Hands down.
Yes. Mike, look, lint roller microphone drop on that one.
Literally. That part drop.
It's all good. You got a representative, man. Look, little bro, I love you. I'm proud of you. I think you're doing great things. You are a beacon light in the world. Keep shining it. Keep going, King. I appreciate you, and I'm sure everyone on this talk appreciates you as well. Whenever the book comes out, get that book. Tell the people where to find it.
Yeah, so I just changed my Instagram name, but it's listed here, Joshua Renfroe, my government. And yeah, just follow me, shoot me a DM, let's talk. You know, we ain't really got much else to do, so let's get to know each other, let's support each other, and can stay updated on all the things that I have coming up. And thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for having me. I think the series that you're doing is great. Like, you know how I feel about you. You know, you're like a big bro to me, and you've helped me through some of the most challenging times as like an adult. So I just appreciate what you've been in my life, and I appreciate for you inviting me on your series.
Yes, sir. Of course. Anytime, man. Love you, bro.
Love you too. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Peace and blessings,
Tell
guys.
Courtney I said hello.
I will.